Hello, everybody. Welcome to my small lecture. I am Gerald Mahaprana Japilian. Today, we're going to be having a small lesson about strategic management, and I hope it's going to be fun. I hope I'm going to explain it well, and I've prepared a presentation. So yeah, I'm going to be jumping in to explain what it is, and let's get in. Let's get in, shall we? Um, I hope you guys are having a great day because I had actually an exhausting day, to be honest. Yeah, wasn't the best. And oh yeah, I prepared a side camera as well, so you can see my side profile. So yeah, so it's not just my front profile, but you could also see my side profile. Okay, what's going on? Right, sorry about that. Let's jump in. Here we are. Strategic Management by Gerald Mahapranaja, and that is my NRP student code. We're just gonna get straight to it. Table of contents. What is strategic management? That's the first thing we're going to learn. And then the process, and then the corporate strategies, and then the flexibilities, advantages, and disadvantages, and that's it. So, right, we're just going to get into it. What is strategic management? Well, I put it on the left, the main point: strategic management strategies, business models. So, practically, what I'm going to be teaching today mainly is about how you as a person would control your company, how you would control an organization, how managers would develop strategies of an idea pretty much to achieve the company goals, and as well as business models of the idea of how the company will make money, how you will profit. So, like, why is this so important? Why am I teaching you this today? Is because it by learning this, it can result in higher organizational performance, and it could coordinate diverse organizational units. It could help your employees focus on long-term goals of your own company. Okay, we're going to just jump in straight into the strategic management process. So I explained to you what strategic management is, pretty much summarized it. Uh, so your overall, if you want to put it blindly, it's strategies and tactics of how you would control your company and or run it, or how managers would generally put things together. And here I've prepared a graph of sorts, strategic management process, and it's a six-step planning process. So it's quite simple actually. It's not that complicated. It encompasses strategic planning, sets the business implementation and evaluation. So if we see the first box on the left, identify the organization's current missions, goals, and strategies, and then it's going to branch out. So at first, of course, you're going to have to put the groundwork, the basics, the understanding, the visions. And then after that, it's going to branch out into two new boxes, external and internal analysis. So first, you set out the groundwork. Second, you analyze, and then you pretty much see the opportunities, the threats, strengths, the weaknesses, so on. And then you formulate your strategies, and then you implement it. So you formulate it, you plan it. After analyzing and putting on the groundwork, you obviously would formulate it. So you put in together sort of a uh, a plan, and then you implement that plan, you execute it. And after executing it, you would see the results. You would see how it works. Did it work? Did it fail? Or could we have done better? And so on. So next, well, I could explain to you what external internal means, but it's just gonna be long. Pretty much, to put it simply, internal is more in the company, inside the company, your weakness, your strength, and external is like your competition, your threats, what can destroy you in source. Right. So here we are, components of a mission statement. So to continue of the slide before, um, there's actually six steps to it, but we're not gonna get into it. It was the six steps before I mentioned before, but in this one, I compiled together what you would want to see, really, what you would need to ask, and what you need to know. So on the left, the it's what you need to know about things, the environment, and on the right is the questions you need to be asking. So of course, on the left you see customers, and on the right it says who are the customers, who are your customers, who are you selling to? So and then on the left there's markets, and on the right it's where you are, where you're positioned, and on the left, and so on and so on. So you can take a read, but I'm not gonna put too long in this. It should be enough. There's also self-concept, obviously, so the major advantages and core competencies of your organizations. So yeah, how are we doing so far, guys? I hope I'm not saying it. I'm saying things too fast, actually. I want to get everything inside this presentation as best as I can, and we only have 10 slides, shockingly enough. Yeah, but I've actually tried to compile it as best as I can. Right. I think I haven't mentioned this before, but I did say about internal and external analysis, and inside those two, there's a type of analysis that you can use, which is the SWOT analysis. So what is the SWOT analysis? It's quite famous. It's quite famous. Um, I think a lot of you would know about it. It's S is for strength, W is for weakness, O is for opportunities, T is for threats. And yeah, strength is pretty much what you can do and what you are better than others at, and weaknesses is pretty much the opposite of strength, obviously. What you cannot do, what others are better than you, and so on and so on. For opportunities, it's more of like looking at the future. So in the future, can you expand here? In the future, can you move over here? Can you make things better? How will you make things better? And is there a chance that you can sell in this area, to sell to this to a specific form of market? And on the threats, it's the opposite of opportunities. So it's just opposites to opposites. Threats is what can destroy you, what can put you down, what can take away uh, your your capabilities, pretty much what could potentially backfire. And it's just opposites and opposites. It's quite simple. It's not that complicated yet. It's still so fun, guys. Oh, I'm already exhausted actually explaining. It's a light topic. It's a light topic, really. It's really basic of management, but it could be heavy when it's late in the day. Maybe it's quite late here. It's already like 10, 11. Anyways, let's continue. Right, moving on to corporate strategy. So before we were talking about general things. We were talking about how, in general, managers would control or fix issues. But in this case, it's more of your company as in a whole. So as you can see on the right, we're going to look at the right picture first. There's a corporate, competitive, functional. So corporate is obviously the biggest. It's the head. It's already a complete multi-business corporation, and the competitive is it's just one unit to another unit to another unit. So it's a company, but it's alone. It's independent, so it's a less specific, and in the bottom is even lesser specific, and it's more about the functionality. There's research development, manufacturing, marketing, human resource, and finance. So it's more like the departments, and in those departments it makes into a company, and in those companies it could make into a multi-business corporation. And on the left, I've listed all the corporate strategies, or at least the corporate strategies that I have in my mind currently. There's growth, stability, renewal, PCG matrix, five forces model, strategic leadership. Um, so in so I'm gonna explain actually one by one, and it's gonna get tiring. It's gonna get tiring, especially the fact that I can't have more than 10 slides. It's gonna get quite frustrating, but I'm gonna explain all of it. Hopefully, I'm gonna explain it a bit detailed. I'm gonna have to look at my notes though, so forgive me, guys. I don't have a human superhuman memory. So for growth, it's pretty much the expansion of products. It's you expanding the product you already have and expanding your market. So in growth, there's a lot of other factors in growth. So there's vertical integration, and in the vertical integration, there's two more factors. There's forward and backward. So backward is practically um, your company, your organization supplying itself, and the forward is your company or your organization distributing your own products. And there's vertical, there's horizontal as well. So horizontal is a lot more just basic. It's your company expanding by merging with your competitors. So it's a merge. So and there's diversification. Diversification is just simple as well. It's just expanding into a more like general phase than a specific uh, product, and it could be related and unrelated. So it moves from related to unrelated pretty much and back. So yeah, so the second one is stability. So okay, moving on from growth, there's stability. Stability is the most simple one in my opinion. It's pretty much just maintaining the status quo. So if you already have a company and you have your own products, you're just gonna maintain it. You're just gonna continue what you're doing, and hopefully it's gonna keep going. And you have to maintain your quality of obviously, but you're continuing what you're doing in the first place. So that's it really. So that's stability. So I think that's the most simple one really. And then there's renewal. Renewal is more like kitchen sinking, to be honest. That's what how I see it. So the one before is more about expanding and staying on the same place. Renewal is when you're forced to make a change. So what do I mean by this? There's two types of renewal: retrenchment and turnaround strategy. Retrenchment is you changing a bit of your focus, just minor damage, just changing it minor due to minor performance problems. While a turnaround strategy, as the name suggests, is a lot more large scale. It's more serious, more drastic measures needed. So if there's a problem and it's an emergency and you have to change a lot of the strategies you already have in your mind, your business plan is compromised a lot. That's a turnaround strategies. While retrenchment is a lot more minor. And then moving on, there is the BCG matrix. The BCG matrix is a tool. I think a lot of you should know this. It's quite common. It's similar to the SWOT one. I think many people would have heard it by now. It's a strategy tool that guides allocation decisions on the basis of market short and growth rate of the SBUS. So it's divided into four categories. There's stars, cash cows, question marks, and dogs. So I really wanted to put the picture here because if there is no picture, it's gonna get confusing. But to put it plainly, it's a growth share matrix. It puts in columns of what you should have and what you can move from if you already have a specific type of business. Uh, Compared to the one before, the BCG matrix really is more about analyzing what you have and or analyzing what you can do really. And it analyzes factors outside as well. So it's more specific than the SWOT one. And finally, we have obviously the strategic leadership. The strategic leadership is a lot is it's quite divided into two actually. It's divided into competitive strategy and five five forces models, functional strategies, and so on. Uh, we're not gonna get into that too much, actually. I don't want to make it too specific, but I will explain what a competitive strategy is. It's pretty much how your business or how your company would compete in against other businesses, obviously. And the advantages um, of it is that it puts your quality at first. So it puts your quality at first. It puts your design thinking in competitively, so and it sustains competitive advantage. So this strategy is commonly used in order to push your company to keep producing innovations of sorts and to keep creating better products due to competition. It's quite unique actually. I think a lot of companies do this so the employees could actually it's sort of like a boost for the employees. And there's four things of it. There's leadership, differentiation, focus, and stuck in the middle. So there's four types of competitive strategies. So cost leadership is pretty much just uh the uh the leadership injecting a lot of their time and finance into the employees. Differentiation is to put a standard between your and another company's standards, and focus is to put just yourself on a line without really moving away from that line. And stuck in the middle is putting yourself just on the average. So you're not too different, but you're not too same as well. So you're sort of in the middle. So yeah, it's very different. So differentiation is the opposite of focus, obviously. So focus is very like you're really focusing on the quality of the certain items that you sell, and you want the best out of the items no matter what. While differentiation is you don't really care about the quality, but you're different, you're innovative, pretty much. Right. Moving on to the five forces model. Right. There's five things, as the name suggests. I think that's quite self-explanatory, isn't it? There's threat of new entrants, threat of substitutes, bargaining power of buyers, bargaining power of suppliers, and current rivalry. So threat of new entrants is obviously new competitors, new companies that sell the same things as you, and so on. Substitute products is products that can kill what you sell, if you know what I mean. For example, you're selling, how do I say this? A phone. A phone. No, I'm not. No, that's not right. How about selling like a telephone line or something like that, and then a phone comes in. Well, while they function the same, a phone is more efficient and practical, and people would use a phone more than a telephone line. And in the end, telephone lines become sort of obsolete. That's substitution. And bargaining power of buyers is how much your customers have the power to sort of put the price below than what you want to sell. So yeah, it's quite like them asking you to like lower the price, so on. And bargaining power of suppliers is how much your suppliers, as the name suggests, would want to earn from you and how much you have to buy from them, how much you need to pay. And current rivalry is self-explanatory as well. It's the competition that you have currently. Yeah. Okay. As you can see here on the slides, I haven't mentioned the slides for some time now. It really is. Like I've been telling you, I can only have 10 slides and I couldn't explain everything. So I try my best to explain as clear as possible without having to use slides. So as you can see here, this is the effective strategy leadership. I put in the the picture, and it crosses out to everything. There's the organization's purpose or vision to determine establishing appropriately balanced organizational controls, emphasizing ethical organization decisions and practices, reframing prevailing views by asking penetrating questions and questioning assumptions, creating and maintaining organizational relationships, and so on and so on. So this pretty much is just saying what you should do as a manager how you should manage your company, how you should manage your employees, and it's just you maintaining your human resource. Right, let's go on. Okay, I think we're almost done here. So we move on to developing strategic flexibility. And here I already really wrote what you need to know. It's encouraging leadership unity, keep resources fluid. So this is what you should do if you're a leader. It's just the tips, and yeah, you could see you should encourage your employees. You should get new ideas and perspectives, prepare multiple alternatives, so learn from mistakes. So yeah, it's just what you should keep in your mind. Really, is the important points. And yeah, this is flexibility. It's just how you will manage your company. Right, let's move. And this is the last slide. Okay, the last slide is about the advantages and disadvantages. I just remember I completely forgot to mention about functional strategies. Right, I completely forgot. Functional strategies is to support competitive strategies. So yeah, that's actually it. Strategic leadership, good learn. Yeah, that's actually it. So functional strategies is pretty much the more complex of competitive strategies, but it supports it. So yeah, it's more functional, but it's competitive as well. Anyways, let's move on to the last slide. This is about the first mover advantage and disadvantage. First mover is, as the name suggests, it's you being the first one to introduce a certain product, and there's advantages to it and there are disadvantages to it, as everything in life. The advantages of it is obviously you're the first one, so you're the industry leader and innovative reputation. Cost and learning benefits, so obviously you would have the lesser cost, and you'd be the first one to learn about it. You'd have control over scarce resource and keeping away from competitors, because obviously you would know what to get at first, and the opportunity to begin customer relationship and loyalty. And the disadvantages is uncertainty over exact direction, so you don't really know what you're there for. Um, no, you know what you're there for. It's more like you don't know where you're gonna get, because you have a product, but you don't know where this product's gonna get. Because you're the first one, you have no examples in front of you. You have no, you're not following anybody. You're following yourself. So yeah, that's the disadvantages, and the risk of competitors imitating innovations. I think that's quite common. We see that every day. We see that with Apple, Samsung copying each other. There's Huawei now, Huawei and Oppo, and so on. I think the phone industry is the most common theme we see of first mover advantages and disadvantages. And then financial and strategic risks. You're taking a risk of putting money into something that you start, and there's high development costs, because obviously you're the first one, so you need to discover a lot of things. You're not seeing something that's been discovered. You're the one discovering things. You're the one researching and developing. And if you fail, you lose money. And if you succeed, you don't know where it's going. So yeah, it's quite complicated. Right, I think that's it for today. I think we've run out of slides actually. Have we? Yeah, we did. Okay, we have. Right. So I'm just gonna stop share actually and just like put the camera back on my face. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm here. Hello, we're back. Right. Okay, that's it. For me, it's quite late already. I don't want to disturb anyone else. I hope it's quite good. I hope my explanation was quite well, and I feel like I've rushed a lot of things. I feel like I could have explained things better. As you can see, I'm just stuck in my small tiny room of an office, sort of. Yeah. Anyways, my name is Gerald Mahapranaja. I hope you enjoyed my small lecture, sort of. Yeah, it's night over here. It's past 11 actually. Right. So yeah, I'm going to get to bed. So good night. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you understand. See you next time.